all of a sudden, I got a phone call from Rutgers University. Les Wallach was the head coach at the time, and Rutgers was only like 40 minutes uh, from me in my home, or 30 minutes in Jersey. It was a great opportunity because of being close to home and also coaching full time and recruiting full time. Uh, Made a lot of difference to me as a person and so forth. I was at Rutgers for 9 years, 74 to 83, 1983. It was an honor, and I really appreciate Coach Wallach for what he did and assigned me to be the head coach. I also hired a young man by the name of Mike Mulqueen. Mike came with me and we worked together. And when I left, Mike stayed and he was there for 42 years. It was a great opportunity for him. And we had tremendous group of athletes at Rutgers University. Recruiting was tremendous. We did not have the limit of scholarship for men, uh, but we used the financial aid system, and in a state school. It wasn't as expensive as other universities. My first Olympian came out of Rutgers by the name of Mike Roach. Made it in the steeplechase, finished third in 1976 Olympic trials, made our team. My first 4 miler came out of Rutgers by the name of Ronnie Spears, tremendous miler. We had the national championships in 1981, 2 mile relay, Jimmy Westman, Stan Beelen, Walter Kirkland, Brian Grimes. Unbelievable group of men. Oh, it was this great story. Walter Kirkland, Val Jean Garrett, and David Washington. And so I'm sitting in the home recruiting David, not knowing that he's the brother of Denzel Washington. Mount Vernon, New York, three great quarter milers. One of the great athletes at Rutgers, Elliot Quao. He was a tremendous, tremendous anchor leg of the sprint team, along with Louis Tomlinson, Eugene Norman. And one of the things that he didn't like to do is the strength work, repeat halves or repeat 600s and get stronger. He wanted to run speed, speed, speed. I convinced him that you have to do the strength work to be a great 200-meter man.
Wow qualified for the 1983 World Championships in the 200 meters. Here he is in lane 6 of the finals. We see others having a better start, but he is sticking to his race plan. Coming off the turn, he is out of medaling position, but the strength work he put in allowed him to close hard and finish second, just behind his fellow American, Calvin Smith.
An unbelievable race for him to finish second in the World Championships. I remember I had to knock on his door to come to practice because he knew he had to go to do repeat halves or repeat 600s or repeat quarters. And he said, I'm coach, I'm tired, coach. I said, forget about it, get to practice, and just a tremendous person.
With all the success that GAGS and Rutgers were having, you have to remember it was a different time in collegiate athletics. It took an extreme level of dedication from the coaches and the athletes to train however they could, whenever they could.
Tommy Howe. Tommy Howe was a high jumper for me at Rutgers. We didn't have any facilities where we could jump indoors. And once a week, Princeton University let us use their facility. And Tommy jumped 7'2" for me in a high jump. It was a tough situation too. We had a board track that we store in the winter, in the spring, and we bring it out in the wintertime. And we'd have to train outside. We didn't have a track. We trained outside on a board track, shovel snow, and Paul Richards was pole vault coach, and he used to take the plow and make sure the blade was up, and we go on the board track and shovel snow and make sure we can train and so forth. And we didn't have a tremendous, budget like going on now with budgets in track and field, but we did it, and we did it because they really wanted to be a great school for track and field. Um, and, um, and again, the men that came with us were just tremendous people, and every one of them graduated. Every one of them competed well with the Rutgers shirt on and so forth. And I was very, very happy to be at Rutgers for those 9 years.
At the end of GAG's tenure at Rutgers, the record book was almost 100% his athletes. He elevated the program to new heights and times. Something amazing is 40 years after he left, his athletes still hold many records there. Those records still intact are the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the mile, the 3,000 meters, the 3,000 meter steeplechase, the 5,000 meters, the 10,000 meters, the marathon, 4x800 meter relay, and the DMR. GAG's next step would be where he would take all his learned experiences and match it with a program that had enough resources to keep him growing to new heights. Next is a list of coaches that were at Rutgers during GAG's tenure, as well as athletes that were on those teams and accolades if possible.